Hello, you're watching Quays News. Coming up on today's show.
A major fire has broken out in East Manchester and our reporters are on the scene.
The hashtag #MeToo campaign, how's Manchester been affected? Our reporter Jen Smith finds out.
In that situation, I didn't tell anybody about it. I was too humiliated, I was ashamed, I felt like it was my fault.
Hey guys, I'm Callum Scott and you're watching Quays News.
And we've got an exclusive interview with the star of Britain's Got Talent ahead of his Manchester performance. Good afternoon and welcome to Quays News. I'm Francesca Eagleton.
And I'm Natalie Lord. We start tonight with a fire that has broken out in East Manchester.
Around 60 firefighters were called out to Wingfat supermarket on Gorton Road in Bestwick this morning. Residents have been evacuated and residents have been urged to keep doors and windows closed.
Residents have also been warned that they could experience problems with their water supply due to the amount of water the firefighters are having to use. 20 fire crews remain at the scene.
We've got power shut down and nothing goes through because everything is online, so we can't do anything right now. So it's affecting the business as well.
Police trying to evacuate it from the building, trying to say it exploded and everything else. Easily though, 20 odd fire engines have gone past.
So has it affected you at all, really?
Not as of yet, but if it carried on, they'd probably evacuate us fully, wouldn't they? But yeah, it's not as of yet, but it could do.
Have they said anything at all about the cause of the fire?
Nah, not yet. But it's not the cleanest of places there, if I'm honest.
Oh, is it not?
No, I've been in myself.
So
yeah.
do you have any idea of what you may?
Probably chip fat. The chip fat or something like that's gone up. I'd say so. Always pans left about.
If you're a fan of social media, you'll have seen the hashtag #MeToo campaign started by Alyssa Milano. It encourages people to speak out about their experiences of sexual harassment. Our reporter Jen Smith went to find out how the people of Manchester have responded.
It's the tweet that's taken social media and the world by storm. When Alyssa Milano asked victims of sexual assault to reply "Me Too," millions of people across the globe responded. And the North West has been no exception. Ruby Henderson from Manchester has chosen to waive her anonymity to speak publicly about her ordeal.
Some of the main incident when I was 18 years old, it's very young and naive. I had a job in a pub and we went out on a night out when one of the members of staff were leaving and somebody spiked my drink that night. And I was only 18, so I'd only just started drinking. I think I'd only been legally been able to drink for about a month. He spiked my drink and I ended up back in his house where he raped me basically. And that really had a massive impact on me for the subsequent, well, probably still having an impact on me in some ways.
And sadly, Ruby's case is no rarity.
According to the Rape Crisis Charity for England and Wales, 1 in 5 women between the ages of 16 and 59 experience some sort of sexual violence, and a staggering number of 97,000 people are raped every single year, and yet only 5.7% of those rape-reported cases end in a conviction.
But it seems the current media furore is going some way in giving people in the North West confidence to talk about the issue.
To be fair, there was a long time in my life that I definitely, and I know my mom's story as well, that she didn't feel confident at all. And only recently she started, she's 55, but only recently she started coming out with it. And I think that the hashtag #MeToo campaign basically is actually helping me.
I do know a friend that has been involved with it and she has actually used it. And it's given her a lot more confidence because she knows that there's a lot more people out there that are in the same situation as her.
Get your voice out, especially for these kind of things happen. Because we don't want it to happen, if you know what I mean. Especially Manchester is one of the greatest cities.
But experts are concerned that this media attention will be short-lived.
The thing is, it needs to stay out. We need more media attention, constant media attention, because what happens is, like with the Jimmy Savile's thing 5 years ago, when that came out in the media, lots of people went to look for support and disclose that they'd been abused, and then within a couple of years later it goes back underground again. So I think it's fantastic that it's coming out, but we've got to keep it out.
And whilst Ruby has found confidence from the hashtag campaign, she also shares similar doubts.
For me, I would speak up about it more if I felt it'd be better received. I do worry. I worry even with this wonderful #MeToo thing. It's great that people are speaking up about it, but I worry it's just going to be another flash in the pan media thing. We need to shift something on a much larger scale before this is going to stop. It needs wider education, and yeah, maybe this is the start of something, but yeah, it can't continue.
Now, the rent-to-own retailer Bright House has to pay £14.8 million to 249,000 customers after the Financial Conduct Authority found that their lending agreements were not affordable.
The retailer lets customers pay for household items such as washing machines and televisions on a weekly basis. The business model is being criticised in the past as well. A previous investigation highlighted the example of a £358 washing machine that ended up costing more than £1,000.
I think it's right. I really do think it's right. They're taking advantage of people who have got very, very little money, but charging them extortionate rates. And they're just making people's life more miserable.
Music and science can be two very different subjects, but the award winner and scientist John Chase pairs the two to create hip-hop raps around his passion for the academic subject.
Our reporter Abby White went to find out more at the Hip Hop Science Stop as part of Manchester Science Festival.
Hello. How are you guys doing? You alright?
Award-winning science communicator and rapper John Chase visited Salford University on Friday to officially open Manchester Science Festival. Always having a keen interest in DJing, MCing and hip-hop from a young age, John combined his two passions, and not long after, he was approached by NASA, who asked him to create a science rap for them.
Everyone decided to write some raps, so I wrote mine about some stuff I was just learning about, which was basically science and how science works. And then just put it down. Then about a year later, I was sitting or maybe a couple of years later, I was sitting in the car with my professor on the way to do a podcast at a conference about astrobiologists, and I just rapped that rap to him, and I went, yes, yeah, I love science communication. He went, that's cool. And then we went to the conference, and there's an American lady there who works for NASA Astrobiology magazine, and he went, hey, Helen, he raps about science. She went, oh, give us a go, go on, show us what you got. So I showed her, she went, oh, could you do one for us?
As an audience of all ages began to fill up the room, people seemed intrigued as to how he would teach science through the form of music.
I think it's amazing, to be honest. I've only just discovered something called neuromusicology, which is the study of music and the effects it has on the brain. So I think it's something that should be addressed, and more research should be done into it. So I'm glad that someone's covering it today.
It's not just the space out there, it's also the space in here. Space has much more meaning than just a space that we think of as space. That was my rap.
Teaching science through hip-hop rap, Chase hopes that this method of teaching will reach out to a wider audience and encourage people to become more involved in the subject.
I saw an advert for it. Actually, no, that's a lie. Samir just told me about it, so I came down. I said, well, I did physics at uni, and I like hip-hop, so it ticks my box, I guess.
Events for Manchester Science Festival are running all through the city until the 29th of October. For more information, go to www.manchestersciencefestival.com. Abby White, Quays News.
And now over to Jack Adcock for the sport. What's been happening, Jack?
Well, former Manchester United manager Sir Alex Ferguson has officially opened Salford City FC's new stadium last week. Moor Lane is no more, and it should be called the Peninsula Stadium. Ferguson was there alongside the club's co-owners Gary Neville, Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes.
That's what ambition does. You know, Gary's speaking. It's jumping out his skin, ambition. You see this, what you've developed here? That's a sign of ambition. And that's what you've got now. Go on. Work hard. And I'll tell you something also. If when your manager, your coaches are hard on you, you know why? Because you need to develop your character that you never lets you down. Never lets you down. I knew when that team of mine went out in the field at Old Trafford, never let me down. No, we never win every game. Obviously, we never win every game. We'd love to have. We tried to. But you know something they never did? They never gave in. You look at the last-minute goals United scored. That wasn't done because of their ability. That was because they never gave in. Their character didn't let them down. They just bang, bang, bang the door. They eventually broke down. You know how many last-minute goals we scored in my time? Anyway, no. 166. You know that? The last 15 minutes at United was over 200. last 15 minutes. That wasn't because of me. That was because of these lads. That was because of these players. They never gave in. It's a quality too. So I wish you well. I'm delighted to be here. I see fantastic progress. And they're giving something back to you that they got here many, many years ago. This is their area. They learned a tough coach, Eric Harrison, and it was unbelievable. But they needed a tough coach to give them a direction in life, and they got it. So good luck to you, and I'm delighted to be here. Thank you.
To launch the stadium, Salford City will be hosting a Class of '92 match on the 12th of November. For more details on the event, go to quaysnews.net. Next, Sale Sharks player Byron McGuigan has been named in the Scotland squad.
It was probably the best I've ever been. Like, some of the players in it, brilliant squad. So I think if we don't make the quarter-finals, it'll be an underachievement.
I looked at the teams. Like I say, there's a few NRL players. I mean, good chum of mine, Richard Lepori, who I enjoy head tackling sometimes. But against them, should have a good performance against them. If hopefully win. PNG, we'll deal with that when we get there. And Wales, I'm really confident of 3 results there. So I think the minimum is a quarter-finals. I'd love to have we do get to them, which I think we will. And if we do draw anyone, I would really love it to be Australia, so we can have a crack at the Aussies, in their back garden. That'd be.
Now, with the North West Football Awards around the corner, it has introduced a new category this year in recognition of the rising popularity of fan TV. Full-Time Devils are amongst the nominees.
We're really pleased at Full-Time Devils to be nominated in the North West Football Awards. I think it's really great that awards like this, which they've got a great history, tradition, obviously in the area, they're starting to recognise digital media as well as the more traditional print broadcast media. It's only a matter of time until the two things are becoming closer and closer together. So I think it makes sense that they've got a category for fan channels at this year's award. And like I say, everyone, Full-Time Devils, we're pleased to any excuse to have a night out, basically, we'll be there.
And that's all your sports news for today. Back to you.
Thanks, Jack. Now to our reporter, Sophie Spicknell, for the weather.
Good afternoon. Today is a rather cloudy day with outbreaks of rain and strong winds. There'll be highs of 16 degrees towards the afternoon, with heavy rain expected into the evening. Now, if you're thinking of staying in bed tomorrow, maybe the weather will help change your mind, as sunny spells are expected throughout the day with light winds and highs of 15 degrees. Thursday may have the possibility of rain, but otherwise will remain dry with sunny spells. For the rest of the week, expect dry weather with low temperatures, so please wrap up warm on these chilly autumn nights. That's all for the weather. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Sophie. Now, Britain's Got Talent star Callum Scott is currently on tour as a support artist for Emily Sandé, and I sat down with the pop singer this weekend for a Quays News exclusive ahead of his first ever performance at the Manchester Arena. So, back where it all started in 2015, your audition for Britain's Got Talent.
I'm in the corner watching you kiss her.
And why did you choose to audition with the song Dance on My Own?
I stumbled across the song actually. I mean, I love Robin. I love the original song. And
I keep dancing on my own.
when I do my version of that song, it's very stripped back, and it just makes those lyrics very sort of in your face, and it is a heartbreaking song, but it seems to resonate with people all across the world.
So from the song, obviously it was written from Robin's perspective and kind of a girl's perspective. When you released it as your own single, what was the reason behind not changing it to your
I specifically kept the pronouns the same because I already related to the song anyway, of falling in love with a guy who loved a girl, and so this song just spoke to me. And when I did my version of it, I purposefully didn't change it, and I think it kind of went a little bit unnoticed for some people, but the gay community, specifically the LGBT community, they latched onto it and they was like, this song has given me so much more confidence, and I feel like I can come out and be myself. And it was important for me to give that voice to the community, and it's also helped me be more confident and accept myself more as well.
So what's next for Cam Scott?
What's next? I have a single coming. I have my next single, which is called You Are The Reason, and that's available on the 17th of November. And I can't tell you how excited I'm looking forward to having a new single out there. We did put out a song called Rhythm Inside, but we didn't go to radio with it. It was more to keep my very loyal fan base happy and show them that I'm working on other things. But for my second single, I want to go back to what it was that people fell in love with, which for me was a voice and a piano and a very simple, beautiful message. My mum keeps saying it's the calm before the storm, and I'm like, I feel like I've been riding this storm for ages. I still can't believe all the amazing opportunities I get, so long may this continue.
That's all from us today. To keep up to date with the latest news, follow us on Twitter @KeysNews or visit keysnews.net. Goodbye.
Goodbye.